This is a short summary of my presentation at the International PBL Congress in Colima. First, I presented the university. Then I told about the Aalborg model, a little bit about myself in the next chair at the university and the NPBL, the Master Education, and also about what I'm doing when I'm teaching in project management and stuff. I told about my blog, about democracy, and presented them the paper. It's called Democratic Learning in the Aalborg model. My starting point was that I think that too much PBL is professor-based learning. The lack of student influence is undemocratic. I presented my definition about democratic learning, and thereafter I will focus on the Aalborg model and the democracy in especially democracy in the group. I presented my data collection and my method and showed some of the results. My conclusion can be read here. I stressed that the democratic responsibility are learned. We have a course, project management. I also mentioned why discussions are very important. Please read the slide. And now to a perspective. It is true that building of community begins in the classroom, but extends beyond it to a school and the community at an early age. Then implementing democratic learning systems with strong democratic elements as the Aalborg model are important for supporting and promoting democratic behavior of students in higher education. I mentioned the report from the United Nations, and we listened to Kofi Annan, to what he said.
Dear friends, only 25 years ago, most Latin Americans were living under authoritarian regimes and longing for democracy. Today, almost all Latin Americans live in democracies. That is a great achievement of which you should all be proud. At the same time, you have made great progress in combating inflation, increasing and diversifying exports, and attracting foreign investment. You have also achieved vital social objectives, such as reduced mortality rates among children and mothers, gender balance in the school system, and primary education for all. And yet, far too many Latin Americans are still living in poverty and hunger. Many feel defenseless against violence and crime. Your societies suffer from low economic growth and persistent inequality. Many groups, especially those of African descent and the indigenous peoples, feel excluded and oppressed. Opinion polls tell us that today only about 50% of Latin Americans prefer democracy to authoritarian rule. That is very sad. More important, it is wrong. The solution to Latin America's ills does not lie in a return to authoritarianism. It lies in a stronger and deeper-rooted democracy. Regular and free elections are vital, but they are not enough. Only when all citizens enjoy their full rights, political, civil, and social, will they feel that democracy matters to them. The report you are launching today examines the state of democracy in Latin America and suggests ways to strengthen it in this sense, through citizens organizing themselves and expanding their rights. It outlines obstacles and opportunities and frames an ambitious agenda for the years ahead. It is the work of a team of independent experts, including many prominent Latin Americans. I am proud that it is sponsored by the UN Development Program. I hope Latin American societies will find it useful, and I assure you that if they do, they will find the United Nations a willing partner. Muchas gracias. Muito obrigado.
The Latinobarometer is on the same track as the UNDP report. Democracy in Latin America is not so PBL. So I think that PBL can support democracy, but of course more research are needed. We must evaluate different PBL models. We must find out how democratic is the learning system and see the impact. And I invited people, the participants, to investigate their own models, to compare and to discuss. And also when structuring or implementing and change to PBL, you must ask yourself the question, how democratic is the learning system you want to implement, and is it democratic enough? Before I close, I ask the participants to keep attention to our master in problem-based learning in PBL, and I ask them to join PBL Global Network. That was my presentation.